This video is part of the Fall Leaves playlist. This playlist happens every month on the 1st, and this month's theme is fall leaves. You'll have to keep watching to see how I did it. Project number 1 is wood pumpkin, wood words. I have a lot of those wood words. They're different, like some are welcome autumn, some are welcome fall, some are hello fall, hello autumn, and then there's like blessed, grateful. So I always grab a couple extra ones when I go, and I've not been to the Dollar Tree in the longest time, and when I do, it's just for a few things, so I may be due for a little visit. This one starts with acrylic paint. Doing a little bit of orange and some burnt umber. The orange is kind of bright. They're regular orange. I had to throw out all my paints are getting just thick and clumpy and just no good. So this orange is a little bit light for fall. So I'm just going to get it in there. I'm going to let the paint sit on top of the wood. I'm not going to rub it in as much. And then when I get the burnt umber on the flat parts of the pumpkin, it'll mix up with the orange. It gives it a nice look, and you'll notice I did a few oopsies here and there, and I'm just going to leave it because real pumpkins have oopsies, right? I rubbed some more burnt umber onto the stem of the pumpkin, and I believe that's called a peduncle. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Leave me a comment. I decided to do the Hello Fall in that like blue, like a beachy blue. I love the contrast. Like I love the contrast. Then I have these wood. They're like wood ornaments. I'm going to use 2 of them. And I'm going to do them both different colors because I'm kind of going for, like color, because that's what fall's all about. And I think as we get into fall crafting, I might get a little more neutral, a little less rustic, but we'll see. So this background sign was perfect for what I wanted to use it for here. And since these leaves had the holes on the top there, I just couldn't figure out a way to not make it obvious I was covering up a hole. So I made a little finger bow. I just wrap it around my 4 fingers, like, I don't know, like 5 times, 6 times, 7 times. 7 times if it's something really big, and then maybe 5 for little ones like this. And I just wrap it around my fingers, take it off, and wrap some twine in the middle. This is just craft glue I'm using here. I believe it came from the Dollar Tree. I couldn't get it to come out the little spout, so I'm just dipping a paintbrush into it. Or I was, but I don't know, for some reason I just thought I was going to pour it and got way too much. So I am now dipping the paintbrush in the glue that I poured on the backing. And that's the only thing with these glue, like they'll stick and they'll stay on there, but it just takes forever for it to dry. So, once you get it on there, you really can't do a whole lot. And if you do, you look back and see how it's just sliding? Like it just slides on there. It's almost like oil or cooking oil or something, how you like guide through the oil. That's kind of what it reminds me of. And I'll give you a better look at this during the final reveal. Jumping in with a little bit more information about the playlist. It happens every month on the 1st. Our host is Brenda from Rustic and Lace DIY and KRISTA from KRISTA's Crafty Life. Their channel links and a link to the playlist will be in my description box below. I hope you enjoyed the way I interpreted the theme. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the video. Project number 2 is a leaf wall hanger. That's a child size raffia skirt. And I just cut off a little bit. I'm going to make a bow for the leaf at the end here. This is a Dollar Tree pizza pan. I'm sanding it first, and then I have this oops paint, and I never put my tops on tight, and that's what I get left with. So got rid of that, and then I could put some from the bottom of the container onto this pizza pan. Now, in retrospect, I wish I had left the colors on this leaf a little brighter. I actually distress it a little bit too much, I think, with some white paint, and it ends up looking a little bit washed out at the end. But I think I'll go in after this video is done and probably sand it down some more and bring some of the colors through a little bit more. But this is how I'm doing it for now. So we do the yellow one for the middle, and then I figured I'd do the same color on either side, and the same with the outside color as well. And these are all chalk paint except for the white on the pizza pan, and then I'll use the white to distress. And that was another thing too. That oops paint is like kind of like the stuff you put on your walls. So it's not really meant for crafting, and I can see why it it's just weird. It's like sticky. It's like, I don't know, satin or whatever. Okay, so here's the crackle medium and the oops paint. And that's how I chose to distress this. Took me forever with this heat gun here. And I just watch it. It bubbles up. The bubbles break, and you're left with the I don't know what you call it, but it's like the bubble pops and there's lines left, and those lines are what makes it look distressed. So I found some letters to spell fall for Fall Sweet Fall, but I was going to use Chocateur for the middle, and it just didn't work out. So that word sweet was made on my Cricut Joy. I just measured 1.5 inch high and about 5 or 6 inches long, and then cut out the word. I did leave out a little bit there at one point. When I came back from the word, I had turned the camera off, forgot to turn it on, and then randomly looked at it and realized it wasn't on. So yeah, it was one of those crafting days. These are 2 little bouquets that I made, some of my fall florals that I have. And after I made them both pretty much the same, I wrapped the ends together with my regular old Dollar Tree twine. And then I made that bow, the awareness bow, and I wrapped that around the 2 little bouquets. And then I'm just using school glue to get it on here. And it will stick. It just takes a really long time. So when I get my heat gun, not my heat gun, my glue sticks, I'm going to lift up some of these leaves and get some hot glue in there. See, now I'm just going to sort of push that raffia underneath there. And instead of doing a bow, I'm just going to like tie a knot. It kind of looks like a bow anyway. And that'll be it. And I have some better looks at this for the final reveal. Project number 3 is this little tiered tray piece. It could also be an end table decor. I'm using this these woodwords and the wood leaf, like how I used in the previous 2 projects. When you're using like spare wood like this, you want to make sure the screws and nails are out, and you want to make sure the corners are smooth so no one gets a little splinter or anything like that. So I took just some really gritty sandpaper and really smoothed up the edges. and decided that you need to see a lot of that. So here it is. All right, well, some of you may remember that color on that wood. It's from a broken outdoor chair, like an Adirondack chair. And they kind of just fell apart. So I kept a couple of pieces in the corner of the yard, and I bring in the bigger pieces and then I cut them into little pieces. So this piece of wood, I wish it had been just like maybe like a quarter of an inch or half of an inch bigger, and things would have fit really nicely like I thought of in my head. But I did manage to squeeze the words and the leaf on, but barely. I used that same blue paint that I used in the Hello Fall from the first project. And this is the burnt umber that I've been using as well. It's acrylic paint. And that blue is, I believe it's chalk paint. So I am just finishing up here. Kind of sometimes when you rub like that, you'll miss like all these random spots. So you just have to go back and make it a little bit more uniform. Now that paint is dry. There has been a little bit of time passed, so I'm just going over it again with the sandpaper. And I'm trying to figure out if I want those holes at the top or the bottom. I'm trying to figure out what the best way to cover them up. And I noticed that I can put the words on top of them and you can kind of still see the holes, but not really because you're distracted by the letters. And that's sort of been my thing lately is I'm not going perfection, but I'm going for like there's enough other stuff going on that there doesn't need to be perfection. I started gluing this with the glue stick, but I guess maybe I did use just the glue stick. It's pretty crazy that I can have like 5 different kinds of glue and still don't have the glue that I really want. Anyways, I'm going to give you some good looks at this in the final reveal. I added a little finger bow to finish things up. It's just that turquoise macrame cord that I love so much. See you in the final reveal.